in the claw. Oh, you want a strawberry? There are few things as delicious in the world as a beautifully ripe, juicy piece of fruit. It truly can be nature's candy.
And you can always use your knife and your cutting board to prep that fruit. But there's a whole world of different gear out there that really helps you get the most out of your fresh, seasonal produce.
Some of these tools are really great and actually save you time, and some are not worth buying at all. And we have tested all kinds of things: tomato cores, pineapple cores, avocado gadgets. Today, we're gonna show you which ones are worth getting and which ones are not.
First up, Hannah.
First up, tomato cores. And before you start chirping in the comments about tomatoes' status as a fruit, let's settle the score. Technically, it's both a fruit and a vegetable. Botanically speaking, a fruit is a ripened flower ovary that contains seeds. Botanists may think of tomatoes as fruit, but most chefs and nutritionists think of them as a vegetable. So long story short, it's really both. But you know what? Today we're covering fruit prep tools, so today tomatoes are a fruit. First up, tomato cores. They help you hollow out the stem and tasteless core of a tomato. I have our winner right here from Norpro. I don't know, I was like, who needs one of these? I could not believe how much faster these made it to go through a bunch of tomatoes. With a regular paring knife, you have to make several cuts to cut all around the core. With this, these super sharp teeth dig right in and pluck it out. It truly makes it a faster process. If you're canning tomatoes, you're making a big tomato salad, this truly will save you time. So let me show you how to use one of these things. Simply take a tomato like this and scoop it in like that. Go around, plop. Not all of them were this easy though. Our winner had super sharp teeth. Some of the other ones were really dull and they just mangled the tomatoes. That's not what you want. You want a nice, beautiful, clean sweeping motion, nice, clean tomato left behind. Handles also really matter. This is something you're holding in your hand and you're using, over and over again. Some of them dug into our palms. They were too skinny. They weren't comfortable. This simple rounded handle was all it took to make it comfortable enough. This is a very light, deft tool. You don't need some over-designed handle. We tested a bunch of these. We also tested our winning strawberry huller, which we love for strawberries. They say you can use it for tomatoes too. We think it's great for strawberries, but it's not so good for tomatoes. The Norpro really won the day for its comfort and sharp design that made the process super seamless and really cut down on our time for tomato prep. Next up, pineapple cores, which in my humble opinion is one of the most essential fruit prep tools. If you've ever wrestled with one of these, you know they can be spiky, and it can be really hard to cleanly remove all of the eyes without sacrificing a lot of the beautiful flesh underneath. Enter pineapple cores. This handy little device here, this is our winner from OXO, will do all of the hard part for you. We love this for a lot of reasons. It was easy to use. It made beautiful, clean slices. You're gonna lose a little bit of flesh trying to get the skin off, but this one allowed us to keep the most possible amount of fruit. Some of the other ones were super wasteful. They didn't cut cleanly. They drove crookedly down the fruit. They were really hard to turn. The OXO made this process 1,000 times easier. So let me show you how it works. You still need your knife to do a little bit of prep here, just to chop off the top. You don't chop off the bottom here. That will actually make the juice go everywhere. You center this on the core. See, it's got those little teeth there. That's what's gonna grip into the core and drive this down. It's sort of like a wine opener. Okay, so I'm gonna center this, put it right in there. It smells so good. A lot of the other models we tested wasted a bunch of fruit or left behind the little eyes, which was super annoying. That's why you buy one of these things, so you don't have to deal with that. Still others put our hands near the blade. Not safe, not down for that. And now you just pull it out like a wine cork. It cuts it in little spirals, which is super cute. That comes off. Look at that beautiful slice. I love pineapple, so I gotta take a bite of this. Also love this cup it leaves behind. I mean, can you imagine the tropical frozen drink you could drink out of this thing? There's actually a bunch of juice in here right now. I gotta try this. Oh, that's so good. I feel like I'm on the beach. So this pineapple core from OXO truly is one of our all-star fruit prep tools. Next up, strawberry hullers. You may not think strawberries are that hard to break down, much easier than a pineapple, for example, but I want to show you why the typical paring knife method can be improved upon. With a paring knife, you have two options. One is to chop off the top, right like that, right? Super easy, super fast, no problem. But there is a little problem. There's a lot of food waste going on there. Not ideal. The other way you can do it is if you have some really nice knife skills, you can hold the strawberry in your hand and cut around. This takes a lot of skill and it's not as fast, right? You're also pointing your knife at your palm, which is not safe for children, certainly, and lots of adults will not feel comfortable doing. So enter the strawberry huller. So this is our winner, the Chef and Stem Gem. Let me show you how it works. So you open it up, put the prongs in, close it. Look at that. That was so fast, so clean. So it really gets that core out and leaves behind just the most flavorful parts of the strawberry. Kids can use this. This is safe. Lisa actually had some 8-year-olds test in the test kitchen and use this, and they had a grand old time, and they were very able to do it. So this is super fun, a little safer, and also really fast. So if you are doing a lot for a pie, a fruit salad, this can actually make your prep go a lot faster. We didn't test other products because there weren't any. This is what we call a unicorn product. It's a one-off. And it truly is such a smart little design. We really, really love this thing. Lisa has totally converted me to this. I love it. Deep, deep, deep. Now on to Lisa for some of her favorite fruit prep tools.
One of the nicest tools we found for prepping fruit is this collapsible mini colander from PrepWorks. It's perfect for cleaning berries, grapes, cherry tomatoes, anything that's small and that you just really want to wash and wash well. So this has a lot of great features. We tested a bunch of them. It's our favorite. It collapses down to about 1 inch high. It holds a full pint. It's got a good structure, and all the holes are here on the bottom. It has a little cover that covers them up so that it won't drip. So for something like washing raspberries, they're fragile, they're delicate, and they have that wonderful tender quality to them. So you don't want to just mush them all up when you go to wash them. I have the bottom on, and you can really flood them and let the water just go in and around them and get them really nice and clean. And then you pull off the bottom and it drains instantly. And this bottom is also good because if you're just going to eat some grapes by yourself, reading a book or whatever, rinse them off, put this on, and you can serve it. And it's not going to drip all day long on your counter. If you want to take them for a snack, take them to work, or pack them in your kid's school lunch, put them right in. That oval shape works like a natural funnel. But that's nice and neat, and they're prepped and clean and ready to go. And then after you've washed this out, it takes 2 seconds, or it goes in the dishwasher, pop it down, and it's easy to store. So let's do some blueberries. Using a full-size colander, like you'd use for your pasta or whatever, for this many blueberries is kind of overkill. We tested a bunch of these. This one holds about 3 cups, and that's a good size. Bigger, and you're getting into that full-size colander territory. Smaller, and you're getting overflow, and it's a problem. We also love that this one collapses because it's easy to store. But if you get a collapsible one, we saw some that were very flimsy, and they didn't have this solid band of plastic at the top and the bottom that gives it structure. This is not going to collapse till you're ready to collapse it. I use this thing at home, and I just have it right next to my sink. I use it so much. I don't want to put it too far away. The collapsible mini colander by PrepWorks, it's our favorite. In the past several years, avocados have become so incredibly popular. Americans now eat more than 1 billion avocados a year. And along with that growth has come a whole bunch of specialty tools for avocados that are supposed to be faster and neater and safer than using a knife. So are any of these tools really worth it? This is the one that we rated the highest. This is by OXO, and it has a couple of different features. It has a little blade for cutting it. It has this little tool with the prongs inside for getting the pit out, which is the real tricky part. And then this is supposed to scoop and slice. So the challenges of avocados are that they have this very tough leathery skin, but the inside, if it's ripe, is very tender and soft, and you really don't want to mush it up too much. So let's see. We're going to cut all the way around, down to the pit in the middle, which I can feel as I go around, and that worked. It's a little raggedy. It's not perfect. Then here's the tricky part, the pit. The pit wants to stick to the avocado, but you want to get it out. This helps you from doing that avocado hand thing with a knife that you don't want to do. The 3 prongs on here are a little bit sharp, not crazy, but they should stick into the pit. So Put it in, twist it, there it is. And then you can poke it out on this side. So now, this part on the other side is supposed to help you get in there and dig down and slice it up. Okay, that is not awesome. If you're making guac, it's okay, but if you're gonna like present some pretty slices, I would not call these beautiful. And they're stuck. There we go. Now every avocado you're gonna open is different. You might get one that's a little firmer and then that cut pretty well. This one was really ripe and it's, you know, beautiful and creamy and soft as avocados are, and it's kind of a mess. This is another tool that we did like, not tremendously, by Trudeau, and it's kind of got the same principle. It's got a sharp serrated edge here for cutting. It's got a little pick on the end for picking the seed, and then this scoop-shaped part for getting the whole thing out. The advantage of that would be that, you know, you're not slicing it. You can take out the whole half without disrupting the avocado if you can slice it yourself. That's the thing that we liked about this one. It also didn't cut that evenly. It's a little bit ragged down here. I've got a slippery grip on this side because it's been in the avocado, and on this side, these points are too small. It's too much like the knife tip. It's kind of like a shoehorn for your avocado. We think a chef's knife and a cutting board are the best way to do the job. And with a few tips, you can do it safely, and you can do it neatly, and you can prep it however you really need it. By the way, an avocado is like a tomato. It's a fruit masquerading as a vegetable, and we're gonna cut it up. So you get your chef's knife, put it right in, and then just travel around the seed itself with the knife. You can use it as a guide and just rotate the avocado, and it will go right around and just bisect it perfectly. So then just twist. And look at that nice clean edge. You can see that it's much neater than the ones I did with the avocado tools. Now here's the other part. Don't poke with your knife point, because if anything lets go, you're gonna go right into your hand. We just use the knife like a little axe, and that pulls it right out. And then you don't have your hand anywhere near the problem area. So aside from your chef knife, you also need a spoon. This is a good size. It kind of more matches the curve of the fat end of the avocado. And you're just gonna hold it in your cupped hand and slip it between the skin and the flesh and just rotate it around and scoop. So pretty, so easy, not dangerous, and no extra expense. Just like a serving spoon is great. And then if you wanna slice it, you have your knife. You just do what you want, and you've got these beautiful slices that are perfect for sandwiches or salads or anything you want to do. Skip the avocado gadgets, your knife, your cutting board, and a good spoon, and you're good to go. Tools that help cooks prepare apples for snacking or baking are a great time saver, especially when you go apple picking. You've just got so many of them on your hands. We found two styles and we tested both of them. There's the push style that's kind of shaped like a wagon wheel, and then there's the crank style. For obvious reasons, there's a crank. We think both of them have a place in your kitchen, and I'll show you why. This is so easy and so fast. This one cuts it into 8 wedges that are just right for snacking. Put on a little plate with some cheese and crackers, and that's it. The core is gone. This one is by Norpro, and it cuts the apple into 16 pieces. Isn't that pretty? And then this little tool has these little black arrows here and here, and on the device, you line those up, and it cuts them all free. So you saw that I had to poke the apples out of this one at the bottom. They get a little bit stuck. On this one, they are all perfectly cut all the way to the bottom. So both of these are recommended. This is our overall favorite by Norpro, and it cuts it into 16 little narrow pieces. These are small enough for baking, so if you peeled the apple first, you can just throw these right in a pie or tart. We use these on everything like pears and, you know, even out of season apples that may be a little bit softer. Both of these wash up really quickly in the dishwasher. They're comfortable. They have handles that are elevated. As you push down, you're not slamming your knuckles down on the board like some of the ones that we tested that were very flat. They also have this really nice innovation on the underside. The center part that cuts out the core is where it really engages with the apple first, and it protrudes a little bit past the wagon wheel blades. And that just anchors it and starts the cut, breaks the tension of the skin, and makes it so much easier to push down. So both of these were the only ones that had that little feature. And they're pretty sharp, so they really cut beautifully and neatly. You don't have raggedy slices. Some of them were a little bit more clunky or trapped pieces of fruit in them, and they're just harder to clean. The other one that I want to show you is the crank style. This one was our favorite by Johnny Apple Peeler. It is really terrific because it can peel, slice, and core the apples. It has a suction base, and that is this little crank on the bottom here. It has a big suction cup, and the crank just provides a little extra grip. You do need to have a surface like this table, the stainless steel, or a laminate countertop that has no pores in it. So a marble or granite or anything that has little pores in it, it doesn't grip that well. And in those cases, you can put it right in a baking sheet and clamp it to that. It also helps contain any kind of juices or mess. And you just place it where you want it and then flip this lever, and that makes it really stick. It won't jump around. We tested some other ones, including one by this same brand that has a clamp on the bottom that you screw into the edge of the counter or table. It never really stayed as stable, and keeping this really stable is important. This is also made of sturdy cast iron, and it's enameled. Let me show you how it works. There's a lever here, and it lets you pull this piece back. Prongs are here. You're just gonna stick the prong into the core area. Either side is fine, and goes right on. And so that's going to hold it really tightly on there. You want a firm piece of fruit. If you have a really mushy apple, when you go to turn the crank, it'll just rotate inside the apple and nothing will happen. Over here is a little blade on an arm, and you can adjust that to be as thick or as thin as you want. You can also disable it like this, and it will just core the fruit without peeling it, and it will slice it. If you just want to peel it and not core it, you can take this piece off, and this will not core it, but it will peel the fruit. I also use this to peel potatoes and spiral cut them for French fries. But there it goes. And then you just pull it off, and you have a little apple slinky. It's kind of like the pineapple tool. We're turning fruit into slinkies today. That's what we're doing. When you're going to put this in a pie, I trim it if anything doesn't get in, and you just cut it right down the middle, and you've got a million perfect slices for pie. And then this pops right off, and then you reverse it and start over with another one. And here's another fun part. You can like jump rope with the peel. It's huge. So now you've seen our favorite Apple tools. We have the crank style and the push style. If you can only get one of these, I would go for this one by Norpro. It's our favorite overall. It cuts into 16 wedges. If you peel it first, they're a good size for baking. It's got that nice tray at the bottom that helps cut through the bottom slices of each piece of apple, and it washes up very quickly in the dishwasher. If you do tons and tons of apple picking, you really want this crank style. You can process so many apples so fast. You saw it took about 15 seconds for one apple to go from a whole apple to slices ready to bake. And like all the fruit preparation tools we showed you today, you're going to save time, energy, and you're not going to waste food. For more information on all the gear we talked about today, check out the links below or see americastestkitchen.com.
And what's your favorite way to prep fruit? Do you think tomatoes and avocados should be called fruits or vegetables? Let us know in the comments. Make sure to like this video and hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode.